What's up, everyone? All right, well, another red day. Man, this is frustrating. Thursday, flat, well, $47, whatever. Friday, no trades. Monday, no trades. Tuesday, red 400. Today, red 2,900. Well, you know what? The loss produced an awesome recap. You guys are going to enjoy it. Watch to the very end some really key life lessons about dealing with frustration, being patient, and the process of finding success in a market where it feels like you're only successful when you're financially well off and there's no pressure about whether or not you make money. So that's not fair. We'll talk about it during the recap. I hope you enjoy it. Comments, questions below. And I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow. And you know what? Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, we're going to host a workshop where we're going to talk more about this stuff. So make sure you guys register. You can see the link below. All right, see you there. All right, guys, so recap here today. Second red day in a row. Was down 400 yesterday. We'll give back about 2,900 today. This is a little bit of a frustrating day for me on EVH. I really just had a hard time with this one. The first place where I took a trade was right here on this false breakout. I jumped in it for the break of 20. I was in at 15 and 20, and then stopped out at 97, so lost $1,200. The next entry, I jumped in trying to scalp the break over $8, and I hesitated to buy the break of 20 because I felt like, getting in for the break of 20 I just didn't expect it to work. It sort of did a little false break here, and I hesitated, and then it rips up to 58. And I was like, all right, well, interesting. Should I scalp over 58? And I didn't scalp over 58, and then it squeezes up to 810, and I jumped in, as you can see here, for the break of 8, and that just didn't work out well. It topped out at 810, and then just gave back that entire move. So part of me was thinking I would wait and go short, and then because I actually did have shares available to borrow, and then I thought, no, that's going to be, if I short this, this might be the one that actually surprises people. And if I'm thinking about going short, then I'm probably way behind. That's because I don't usually short these. So I didn't short it. I just was going to take a little scalp off the top for the break of 8, but it reversed, as you can see, really quickly there. So at $2,900 in the red, that's not a great day. This was a tricky stock with a false breakout here. This kind of setup here, which I would have done a lot better on, just either shorting or not trading at all. But I think the problem for me is that at an 80 million share float, this one's just not as predictable. I'm getting a little caught off guard with a false breakout. What I expected would probably be another false breakout here. I hesitated. It then rips through the high and makes what is a pretty impressive 75-cent breakout, which you won't typically see from an 81 million share stock. So I don't know. Just kind of got on the wrong side of this one. Better trades would have maybe been, this one, I don't really know. This had this consolidation here. I took a trade for the break over this level. I think that made sense. So that was a $1,200 loss. Getting back in here for the break of 25, I had it mapped out, and I thought that would be too risky because this stock has already done a number of kind of whips where it looks like it's going to go, and then it does a false breakout. So I thought, well, let me wait for confirmation. But the high was 47. So I was like, well, now I don't know. Should I really buy it at 47? It's probably going to drop right back down. And I actually had an order ready to go short at 750. And then I thought, well, let's give this a second. This might surprise us. This might be stronger than I thought. And as it rips up here, I took my starter at 88. And in the same second, I was getting filled at $8. And this really shows the damage of using hotkeys, because that's a 12-cent difference in the fill in the same second. Now, if I'd filled my whole order at 88 when I was selling and taking some profit at 806, that would have been a winning trade. But because part of my order filled right at the top at 8, obviously, that was too high of an entry. We hit a high of 810 and then reversed off that level. So I guess I'm a little bummed out that I am this far in the red, because that's going to put me down a little over 3,000 now on the month. I was down 300 on the month coming into the day, and now this is a good sized loss. So, this is a little bit of an unusual start to a month, to be this far into the month and really kind of before today not feel like I was on the scoreboard at all. 4 days into the month not being on the scoreboard, just being basically flat, is not good. And now I'm on the board, but I'm going the wrong direction. So, this is just a continuation essentially of July, which is difficult trading. The last big green day I had 2 weeks ago today, I made $3,700, which really isn't a very big green day. I mean, relatively speaking. So it's been 2 weeks since my last $3,000 day, and my last really good day was an $8,000 day, and that was a full month ago. Now on this one, I probably could have made 8,000 if I had been a little more patient and had the conviction to hit it to the short side at 8 with a stop at 810, but I didn't have the confidence to take that trade, and so I didn't go short. I thought it would be safer just to scalp a little profit off the top, and I ended up losing another $1,500. So, in 2 trades, neither of them were blowout losses, which is good, but neither of them were obviously winning trades. So this right now is going to be, continuing a month of trying to just do capital management and capital preservation as much as possible. If I have some days where I do give back some profit, which I expect, then that's okay. I'm all right with that. I do hope that we start to see some better follow through at some point. It's kind of, for me, it's always difficult because I know that this is my worst time of the year. And so there's part of me that's like, why am I even bothering? Why am I even going to try to trade through my worst time of the year? I might be better off taking the whole month off. Just really don't even worry about it. It's just, this last week, for instance, has been, net negative. But at the same time, part of my commitment is to show up every day and trade and look for opportunities. And I don't want to miss an opportunity. And there's some FOMO in that because, I feel like the day I don't show up is the day that we'll have a stock that ends up squeezing 300%, and it's like, oh man. And that might be the one opportunity for the entire month. That's kind of, I think, the fishermen out there trying to catch the big yellowfin tuna, and when they catch a tuna, it's like a $6,000-$8,000 fish potentially. They're, God forbid, they take the day off and they miss that one big fish of the season. I mean, that can make your season. Now, trading, as I say, it's not about one day making or breaking your career. But in the context of short periods of time, a week, or a couple days, it can feel like, boy, that one trade could have made the difference. Today on EVH, this one trade could have made the difference. Had I had the courage to press the buy button at 25, I just would have been riding that profit right up through the highs. And instead, I was timid about pressing the buy button because of the false breakout. So I didn't want to take a trade until it had proven strength. But then by that time, gosh, it was really extended. And it wasn't realistic on this one, as it turns out, to expect that it would really, really open up. I mean, it opened up, but not crazy. 75 cents is good, but, crazy open up would be that it moved up to 850 and then it actually held that level. This is a big red candle at high a day. So this is just the market, kicking up some dirt, and, if you eat it a little bit, that's part of the deal. You just gotta embrace that this is part of the career as a trader. There's ups and downs, and I have no right to complain being up, just under $300,000 on the year, but certainly days like today can wear on you. You don't love coming to the market and having it be as unproductive as it's been. But one of the things I mentioned earlier during our watch list was the fact that for me, in terms of revenge trading, and this wasn't a revenge trade by any means, I chased it a little bit, and you would have gotten away with chasing it here, and you would have gotten away with chasing it here, and it just happens that where I took my trade, it didn't get away with it. This could have just as easily squeezed up to 850, and I would have made $2,500 on it. So, it could have gone either way. This one just went that way. But, the thing is, I don't really have a lot of revenge trading anymore because the stakes have become a little lowered. Because I can pretty consistently perform really well in the first quarter of each year, January, February, and usually March, it puts me in the driver's seat for the rest of the year. Now, because I'm in the driver's seat, I don't feel that pressure that I need to have a really great week or really great month. I'm kind of like, if I close the month of August red, it's not going to kill me. And the very frustrating thing about trading is that you're not going to get to that place of letting go and detaching from your daily P&L until you've achieved some level of success. But that is the mindset that you need in order to achieve success. So how do you get that to that place mentally before you're actually there financially? And that's the real struggle. I would say for me, I obviously was at a point in my lifestyle with cost of living where I tried to bring the cost of living down as low as possible so that I could make it by with as little as $500 a week. So, then when I got to the point, and I'm not live streaming on Facebook right now. But so then when I got to the point where, I was consistently making $500 a week or $1,000 a week, that was covering my cost of living. I mean, it was actually putting me in a good position. That was a choice I was willing to make. And I bet a lot of you guys would willingly make that decision to take a pay cut in exchange for a better quality of life. One where you don't have to go into a 9-to-5 every day and answer to a boss that you don't like, and to try to help them become very successful, and so I get that. Because that was what I did. I said, I'd rather make less money and move back up to Vermont than keep living this life of, working 10 hours a day in New York City, for just so I can afford $2,000 a month in rent and leasing or paying for my car to be in a parking garage, and it's like $24,000 a year just to cover housing. So you need to make 36,000 a year or whatever before taxes. Then you want to get food in there. You want to get some doing fun stuff. You got to be making 50, 60,000 a year right out of college. That's just not happening. You know. So, anyways, so I was willing to say, you know what, I'm going to just live a more simple life. I'll take the pay cut, and, you know, if that means I'd have a period of time where I'm not going to have all of the newest and fanciest things, I'm okay with that. And so that's how I lived for a while. And then the pressure was off, and I just adopted this mindset of, I am a successful trader. You know, you adopt that mindset and you do what successful traders do, which means you don't stress when you have a bad day. So I'm down $2,900 today. You know, this is not a great day, but I don't stress about it. I just let it go. And I have a detachment. You know, for me, I'll take money out of this account a couple times a year, and then I'll have that money, you know, saved aside. So it's not like I'm taking money out at the end of each week, and if I don't make $2,500 this week, that means I'm not going to be able to, you know, pay this bill or pay that bill. You know, that's what starts to get you into that really short-term mindset of need to do this each week, and that's not realistic. You're going to have months in the market where, and we looked at this in our mentor session for Warrior Pro students last night, where in 3 months in 2016, June, July, August, I made about $96,000, and I finished that year with 220 grand. So I made 40% of my profits in 3 months. You know, I mean, in 2017 going into 2018, I had an $80,000 month, an $85,000 month, and then a $115,000 month, 3 months back to back. It was November, December, January. So in 3 months, I made, what was that, $160,000, $275,000, $280,000 in 3 months. So when the market is hot, I am going to be pedal to the metal, and I'm going to be aggressive, and you're going to see $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 days back to back to back. When the market is cold, I need to be more conservative. I really wish that I hadn't jumped into this way up here. I should have restrained myself and just said, you missed it. You missed, you didn't take it at 25. You didn't take the break of the high a day. You didn't buy this first pullback. You're just getting in too high, and just leave it alone. But I thought there was a little more meat on this one, and it could go just a little further. And so, you know, today that wasn't the right move. And in a hot market, it might have gone further, you know, for sure. But we're not in a hot market right now, so you can't trade the hot market strategy in a cold market. So anyways, high day volume on a red candle, big rejection, false breakout here, false breakout here. Both of them got me. Well, that's what happens when you trade an 80 million share float stock. You get faked out, and it got me. So that's fine, you know. Live to trade another day. Never let one trade have the power to make or break your career. So if you miss a day, you miss a day. If you have a bad day, you have a bad day. But you get back on the horse, you roll with the punches, and that's what this is going to teach you. And ultimately, those are lessons that are going to serve you really well in life. When, you know, you get knocked down a few times, your car breaks down, and then you know, just one thing after another. I remember when I was living up in Vermont, that's the type of stuff where I was right on the edge of that poverty line, and you know, then my dog gets sick, and that's $1,000 vet bill, and then the car, the axle breaks on the car, and you know, it's $150 to buy a new axle, and you know, the car's out of commission for, you know, it's just like you're doing the best you can to stay ahead, and then you get knocked down, you get knocked down, you get knocked down, and what are you going to do? You're just going to sit and wallow and be, you know, depressed and deflated? I mean, it's okay to be that way for a little while, but then you got to pull yourself together, get back up, and you know, get back to doing what you're doing, and trying to make the dream a reality. And it can happen, and it happened for me. It didn't happen overnight, but you know, it happened. So it was all worth it. But anyway, so that's where I'm at today. You know, I'm disappointed because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days into the month, and I haven't had a single good green trade. I mean, this is, unprecedented. But at the same time, not shocking for August. Will I get a green trade tomorrow? Time will tell. We'll see. I'll be here 9 a.m., 9:15 to do the watch list, and I'll try to find something. So keep showing up, keep trying to find something, and it'll connect at some point. So anyways, I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.